and welcome to Mike Nierychlo online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. Now, on today's episode, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Nirmal Gidda. Nirmal, thanks so much for coming by the garage.
Thank you for being here. Thanks
Pleasure
for
to
having
have you
us
here.
Great.
So Nirmal, proprietor, general manager, kind of the guy at Boucherie Estate Winery.
Well, I don't say the guy,
The
because like I say, what we try to do is that it's a family-owned operation, and we like to say, not one person gets the credit. It's a family. It's a group thing that makes Mount Boucherie work.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a lot of the older wineries in the Okanagan. It's a very family-run kind of oriented business. You look at Quail's Gate, you look at Summerhill around the corner. All these guys, Cedar Creek, it's all family operations. And yeah, those are the ones that seem like they succeed very well.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, and I attribute the success of Mount Boucherie is really the people that we have on board that work for us at Mount Boucherie.
Yeah, now you guys are on the West Bank side of Kelowna, right at the base of Mount Boucherie, so it's not hard to miss you, because if you're looking for Mount Boucherie, you'll find Mount Boucherie. Yeah,
we're right at the foot. All you got to remember is just make that left-hand turn at Douglas, and we're right up on top of the hill.
There you go. Cool. So now what got you guys into making wine in the Okanagan in the first place?
Well, what got us going was, like I said, we're old-time growers in the valley. We've been growing grapes since the late 60s, early 70s. But it was just, like I say, by the time the late 90s came around, the wineries were cutting prices on the grapes and whatnot. And we, at this time, were sitting there with a little over 150 acres. And so we were saying, well, what happens if the wineries come to us and say, hey, sorry guys, we don't need your grapes, what are we going to do? So Mount Boucherie was built on that premise, was that as a matter of survival. So therefore, that we would have a home for our grapes, and therefore we could control our own destiny. That was one of the reasons. The other reason was our kids. They're not going to be farmers like we are, but they will come and look after the business and whatnot. And so, so that was the two reasons why Mount Boucherie was built and established in the first place. Was, like I say, one, matter of survival, and to be able to control our own destiny.
There you go. Now, so you guys are, if you've been growing grapes in the Okanagan since like the 60s and 70s, you must have been one of the first grape growers in the Okanagan.
Yeah, we were
very few at the time.
Oh, very, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, don't kid yourself. Before the 1988 pullout, there were some grapes that we were growing that should never have been.
Should never be grown. Well, what would you have been growing back in the 60s and 70s?
Well, I mean, we were growing stuff like Deschamps, 9549, Campbell's, Verdelay 9110. I mean, just stuff that you could grow massively on the vines, get good tonnage. So therefore, in those days, you had government guaranteed contracts. So that all they worried about was as long as you hit the parameters of sugar, they had to buy your grapes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that about back then.
Yeah, back then that was the way it worked. I mean, now it's much different. Now, you're growing grapes for quality.
Yeah, not quantity.
Because that's not quantity anymore. And that's the big thing. And like I say, our success is that if we don't grow it, it doesn't get put in the bottle. And that's so everything that you see that's got our name on it and whatnot, it's 100% grown by Mount Boucherie. So therefore, it gives us the chance to control the quality from the vineyard right through into the cellar, into the wine.
So now you guys have, a pile of land spread out through the Okanagan. Now you're up to close to 300 acres now. Right?
That is correct. Most of our holdings, our facility, our production facility is in West Kelowna. Sits on an 11-acre parcel, but the bulk of our grape growing is done in the South Okanagan. We have vineyards in Okanagan Falls. One of the vineyards is situated right, Blue Mountain is right across the road from us. The Wild Goose is just right on the south side of us. Phenomenal. We've got a beautiful site there. And then we've got a site in Oliver. And then we've got most of our other vineyards in the Smilkman Valley.
And that's another big up and we've talked about on the show before.
Smilkman Valley is a unique valley. I mean, the grapes that come out of there will rival anything that comes out of Oliver, Suis, and whatnot. It's the difference being that there you've got some real nice terroir, and the quality of the grapes are really something. And we have the big heat units, but what makes our site unique and special is that we have the big Smilkman River that runs right along the base of it. So at night it just cools the vineyard down, so therefore it really develops nice intense flavors.
Yeah, the Smilkman, it's such a neat microclimate. They got this immense or crazy wind that blows his milk meat as well, cooling everything and just keeping everything in check.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
It is a unique valley.
I'm assuming that really helps with mold and mildew and all that as well, and just keeps everything very clean. The fruit is clean.
That is very true. I mean, like I say, our farming practices, because of the sites that we have, are we could classify ourselves as organic, but the only reason why we don't is we use a herbicide to control the grass.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just we've got so much acreage that we just can't control it manually.
Yeah.
And that, other than that, all of our other farming practices are almost could be classified as organic.
Yeah. That's really cool. So we've got Mount Boucherie Winery here, and you guys are still a grower for many wineries in the Okanagan.
That is
correct. And producing wines for a lot of different wineries in the Okanagan. I mean, you've been doing it for long enough.
Oh yeah, we've been doing it for long enough, and like I said, I still make wine for about 3 other wineries, and I still sell grapes probably to about another 3 to 4 other wineries.
Yeah, I'm kind of hung up on your being there in the '60s and '70s.
Oh.
I'm like, were you there? Was your dad running the place at the time, or?
Well, my dad was there, but we were there. I mean,
okay.
we've worked together as a family from day one.
Yeah.
And even though, like I say, I graduated in '75.
Yeah.
But even then, we were working with our dad from the time that we were 7, 8 years old.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. Were there people shaking their heads at you guys back then? What are you doing, growing grapes here, or like?
Oh yeah, no.
Because there's orchards everywhere.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, yeah. But the difference was that with apples, is that you would pick them, you send them to the packing house, and then you could be waiting a year before you got paid.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, where it was with the grapes, you picked them, and you knew that you were going to get your check at the end of November, or first week in December.
Essentially, it was a decent farming business plan at that point.
Yeah,
too.
because then now you had money, so you could budget your operation.
Yeah. Now you said the government was scooping up these grapes at the time.
Oh no.
What it was regulation for it?
What it was there's 4 major wineries at that time. You had Kelowna Wines, St. Michel, Mission Hill, and Peller Estates.
Okay, yeah.
They were the 4. So what the government would do is they'd give you these wineries were obliged to buy your grapes because the government would guarantee that they had to buy your grapes until the 1988 pullout.
Yeah.
And then everything changed.
Yeah, that makes
sense. But prior to that, you pretty well had a guaranteed contract that if you grew the grapes and you hit the certain sugar levels,
it was sold.
Wherever your contract was, that winery had to buy your grapes.
That's really interesting. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so you brought 3 wines with you today. We've got your Pinot Gris. I guess we're going to start with.
Yes.
Tell me about your Pinot Gris. Where is this grown? Where is this coming from?
The Pinot Gris is grown exclusively in our Costin Vineyard property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real nice, clean, crisp, white.
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful flavors.
I mean, I've said this on the show numerous times. If you're not growing Pinot Gris in the Okanagan, you're doing something wrong because it does so well there.
Well, yeah, Pinot Gris. This Pinot Gris rivals the Pinot Gris that you hear so much about from Oregon. It's got really nice, intense flavors, and like I said, it's really clean and crisp, and it's got that nice lemony to it. But you get this with some cheese and whatnot. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's got a really nice. It's kind of that lemon meets lime, bit of kiwi, those kind of slight tropical aromas, almost kind of star fruit.
Oh yeah, big tropical fruit in this. And like I say, it's grown in our Smilkameen vineyards, and that's just a unique site.
One thing I'm noticing, and this is your 2009. What are you looking at for a bottle for this? How much is it?
That's $14.99.
$14.99. We've got Pinky off camera. Pinky, you can say hi. Pinky's kind of the she's their marketing.
She's my better half.
She's her better half. Yeah. Excellent. So about $15 for that wine.
That's right.
One thing I'm noticing with Pinot Gris, kind of the way they talk about Pinot Noir and Burgundy. Pinot Gris is becoming almost a vessel for terroir in the Okanagan as well. You can really taste the difference from place to place with Pinot Gris in the Okanagan.
Yeah. You can, and like I say, it depends where you grow it and whatnot, and the ripeness of the fruit and whatnot. I mean, if you can get that fruit really nice and ripe and whatnot, you'll get this real nice tropical fruit flavors.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come across ripe, then you'll get more of that lemony, Granny Smith type of flavor.
Well, I like this one. It's kind of bridging the two. Eh? It's got that apple, lemon, lime, but it's got some really neat kind of pineapple meets melon, things like that. And it's savory. It's this would be a very good food wine as well.
It's very, very good. Like I said, pairs excellently well with, like I say, a little bit of cheese platter or
Yeah.
whatnot would be phenomenal.
I was cruising around your website this morning or something. I read a quote. I'm going to pick on Pinky again, who's off camera, but something about she loves your Pinot Gris or your Gewürztraminer for a nice summer afternoon with some Indian food is a beautiful. I mean, that's an amazing thing anyway.
It is.
My wife and I often have a really nice glass of Gewürz or Pinot Gris with some great Indian food from around the corner.
Yeah. This is a wine that you can sit there and just have and eat. Especially the weather's been recently.
Yeah.
And it's really nice, beautiful, just to sit there and have a nice, cool a glass of wine. I said bottle, but
bottle glass. Hey, whatever works if your day's going really well.
That's right.
Nice chilled glass of Pinot Gris. Now, Pinot Noir. Your 2009 Pinot Noir.
That's right.
Now, where are you guys growing your Pinot Noir?
That Pinot Noir again is grown exclusively in our Smilkameen vineyard.
Yeah.
And this one here was a gold medal winner at the All Canadian Wine Awards last year.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Yeah. Good for you guys. That's excellent.
Yeah, and price point is really good. I mean, it's $19.90 $20 by the time you add the bottle deposit to it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a beautiful.
Well, it's a beautiful Pinot Noir color. That's one thing I try to emphasize on this show. When you're drinking Pinot Noir, if it's color other than this, which is going to be hard to see on camera, Pinot Noir can be easily over-extracted, and this is not.
No,
you should be able to see right through the glass. It's a very nice, light, kind of cherry red color. It's not that black or purple.
That's right. I mean, this year is 100% Pinot.
Yeah.
There's no other additives or anything to it. Yeah. This is 100% Pinot. I mean, it's got the real nice, beautiful raspberry, strawberry, fruit flavors come through with just a little bit of an oak there, just so you know that it's there.
Yeah.
And this year, like I say, we used the slightly newer oak barrels for this.
It comes through on this wine, You can taste the newer oak on it.
Yeah, so I mean, and we only let it sit in that new oak for roughly about 10 months. Mm-hmm. Normally in the past we would let it sit for about 16 months.
Okay.
But just because we've been using slightly newer oak on this.
Well, it's such a light, delicate grape too, and you don't want to mess with it. Yeah, so this is the style of Pinot Noir where, like you said, you're getting those nice raspberry, almost kind of maraschino cherry, a little bit of kind of that, let's call it tea leaf, or a little bit of leafiness in there, which is quite nice. I like that. It gives it some savoriness. And then, it's got that oak style to it. So if you're looking for that kind of cocoa, vanilla play, you're getting kind of a balance of the two in this wine.
Yeah. And like I say, it's phenomenal. It's responded very, very well. Mm-hmm. This year, like I say, is probably one of our best sellers that we have in the wine shop.
Got a nice bright acidity to it too. This wine I would really appreciate with a nice fatty piece of salami or something like that. It's going to cut right through it. It's going to pair nicely the flavor profile, especially the oak in there is going to complement the salami nicely. Yeah, it's a nice Pinot Noir.
Oh, beautiful Pinot Noir.
Yeah. Now, if people want to get your wines, I know you guys have a website. What's your website?
Our website is MTBoucherieWinery.com.
Okay, so if you can't remember that, I'll have the link with the picture below the video, so you can click on that, check out their website. Can people purchase wine online from you guys?
They can, as long as BC, right?
Yeah.
Just like
our shipping
rules and regulations don't allow us to ship outside of BC, but
Yeah.
BC it's no big issue.
Okay, within BC, and then I'm just assuming a lot of the local stores. Are you guys fully VQA in your wine?
Oh yes, all of our wines are 100% VQA.
Now VQA, you can tell everybody what VQA stands for.
It's the Vintners Quality Alliance.
Okay.
Is what it stands for, and it just lets everybody know that these wines have to meet a certain rigid standard. Mm-hmm. It's so I mean, if they don't meet that standard, I mean, there's a panel that judges these wines, and it has to pass that panel before they'll give you the VQA allotment.
Yeah, and I know you guys, good friend of mine, Frank Valente, he owns the Wine Emporium, which is up the street. So anybody watching this in Langley here, up in Murrayville, the Wine Emporium's up there. I know that they carry a lot of your line of wines, and it does quite well that they sell it.
I mean, like I say, we're very, very fortunate that the people that support us and whatnot, we have a very, very loyal following.
Yeah.
And, thank you for everybody that does follow us and whatnot. We truly do appreciate it. But we have a very, very loyal following.
That's good. That's really nice. Now, this is a different product. I haven't tasted this from you before.
No, this is our Syrah.
Yeah, 2007 Syrah. I really like the bottle. And like you were saying off camera, your Syrah is done more in a Rhone style.
That is correct.
Hence the bottle as well. Now, France, obviously. It's
That's
in
right.
more the eastern side of France, and they're
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we wanted our Syrah to represent what we grow in the vineyard, and that's basically what we try to do with all of our wines. We want them to be all 100% true to varietal, to what it is. I mean, and so we think that we're BC. Let's make BC wines. Let's not try to do Californian wines. Let's not try to do French wines. Let's not try to do, Aussie wines or New Zealand, the big yellowtail or whatnot.
BC wine.
Yeah, we're BC. Let's do BC
Let
wines.
our grapes and our dirt
right.
speak for itself.
Because, like I said, we're very proud of at being farmers, and we wanted from day one. We wanted the wines to represent the land. To represent the farmer first and foremost, because that's where our passion is, and so that's what we try to strive for at Mount Boucherie, was to let the grapes speak for themselves. Because, like I say, if we don't grow it, we don't put it in the bottle. So to us, it's very, very important.
Well, and like you said, you are striving more just as a representation of the or comparison of the Rhone style Syrah, where the Rhone is not. I mean, Syrah and Shiraz.
Yes.
Are the same grape variety. And everybody out there, I'm sure you're very familiar with Shiraz from Australia, like Yellowtail, and a lot of brands out there like that, Rosemont. They're making a big, over-extracted, it's not necessarily over-extracted, it's, if you like that style, that's your style, but it's a very jammy, very fruit-forward and oaked wine.
That's right.
Whereas Rhone style, as the comparison, is a cooler climate than Australia.
That's right.
Very versatile climate, and you're getting more of those bright acidic red wines. You're getting more flavor of place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, with these ones, like I say, we're shooting for more the wine to be delicate, tannins to be softer.
Yeah.
And we want the fruit to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want a big jammy with a lot of oak to it. I mean, we with our Syrah, we try to use slightly older oak. The oak is there,
For Syrah. Yeah.
but we don't want the oak to overwhelm and overpower what we've done in the vineyard.
No, and by no means the oak is very much in check on this wine. It's a great vessel for you guys to store it in. How much is the bottle of Syrah?
This one here is the $25.
$25. That's a very reasonable price range. And like I said, this is a more juicy, bright acidic Syrah. It's definitely a juicy wine. Like, it makes my mouth water.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of those kind of bright purple fruits, and we're looking kind of like cherry meets those bright cherries.
Yes.
And it's got a neat Syrah characteristic. It's slightly floral, which I like. So it means it's ripening well for you.
Oh yeah.
You get kind of those almost violet or more like it's a purple flower. I can't remember what they're called, but
yeah. Well, no, like I say, and this one same thing. It's grown 100% in our Smelkovine vineyard, and it's just like I say. To us, that's just a very, very unique site that we're able to grow stuff like this. I mean, and most people aren't aware of it, but even down there, we've actually even got some Zinfandel planted there.
Zinfandel. And there's very few people growing Zinfandel.
No, very few. But it's just like I say, it's got real nice terroir, and then the fruit really comes out really, really well. And we're able to, that Smelkovine Valley, we're able to ripen the fruit to the plate. I mean, I've had grapes come out of that Smelkovine Valley Merlot that's been almost 30 bricks.
Oh wow!
So I mean, we can that site we can really either stress or.
Well, I've heard that Merlot does extremely well in the Smelkovine Valley. There's a lot of top producers of Merlot. World class wines coming out of Smelkovine Valley for their Merlots. And when he says 30 bricks is the calculated measurement for sugar level in the fruit when you're harvesting. And in Merlot, you probably typically want to pick around 24 to 26, right? 30, it'll shoot up to 30. That's crazy.
I mean, you can make a port with that.
Yeah, you totally can. You very much can. Cool. Yeah, this Syrah is, it keeps talking to me. It's opening up. I really like it, actually.
If it gets a chance to open up and whatnot, it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's a wine to let breathe, and once it's going there, I'm getting a lot more, aside from the fruit, you get that really neat cigar flavors, a little bit of almost meaty smokiness.
Oh, yeah. And in this case, cigar flavor isn't bad, guys.
No, it's just a hint. It's a subtle hint. It's not like it's overwhelming cigar flavor. It's a subtle hint of cigar flavor. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Well, Nirmal, very much a pleasure to have you by the garage.
Well, thank you very much for having us, Mike.
It's really neat to have someone who's bridging, who's a grower and a winemaker in Okanagan.
Well, like I say, it took us a while.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, being old-time growers, we had the mentality, let's just put the fruit on the vines and let the winemaker
grow as much
makes
as
the wines.
possible
Yeah.
and try to sell
And
as
so
much
yeah,
as possible.
so I mean, it took us, you know, now I mean we've done almost 180-degree reversal
Yeah.
because we realized that we got to grow quality,
Yeah.
not quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you got to, as a grower, you got to really change your mentality to that. Now you got to become almost like a winemaker in the vineyard.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Because 80% of your wine is made in the vineyard. So now, you know, if you do your job right in the vineyard, you're going to have a phenomenal product in the bottle.
Yeah, and you guys have done the same flip that all of British Columbia has done. And we're making some very high quality wines here in British Columbia. It's very exciting to see.
Yeah, and you know, like I say, I mean, we're very proud to say that you can take this product and you can stand it up against almost any world-class wines and they will hold up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and what's really neat is, actually, I heard a chat about this on our Syrah recently, but some of the Syrah we're producing here in the Okanagan, aside from our Pinot Gris and Pinot Noirs and stuff, are standing up well towards like $50, $80, $100 bottles of Syrah, and we're charging $30 to $40 for them. So it's coming around. It's really neat to see.
It's very coming around.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, kudos to the people in the industry. I mean, they've really taken it and realized that they had to change the way we did things. And you know, and like I say, you know, the people in the industry, kudos to them, because this was really a major step that we had to take to be able to produce world-class wines.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, thanks again for being here.
Well, thank you.
Here's to your continued success at
you bet.
Boucherie.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
And like I say, thank you.
Yeah, my
And
pleasure.
thank you to all our loyal customers and fans out there. Hope to see you guys at the wine.
Make sure you take that, what's that, jog on, turn left on Douglas?
Make sure you turn left on Douglas.
Turn left on Douglas off.
You betcha.
What's the main road? It's Mount Boucherie?
Boucherie Road.
Boucherie Road. Okay,
Yeah.
take that left on Douglas. If you're visiting Quails Gate or Mission Hill, which everybody knows where they are, these guys you can stone throw
That's
away. So, cool. And the link for the website will be below the video. So everybody out there, thank you so much for watching today. Never forget, wine, depretentiosized, and we'll see all of you on the next episode.
Cheers.